All right, guys, before we get into this episode, we just wanted to kind of give you guys a brief update to let you know that we greatly appreciate each and every single one of y'all who have been reaching out to us and patiently waiting for the next episode to drop. But, Mike and I have just been working a lot lately, so it hasn't really been that easy to get these episodes put together. But our promise to you right now is that the consistency that we used to have is going to come back. It might not be on the same exact level, but it is coming back. So stay tuned. We're going to bring you some heat, and it's going to be week after week after week after week, and we're going to get back on it. So just wanted to share that with y'all, and thank you guys so much for your patience.
Yes.
We are working diligently to get these episodes out to you. So
yes.
Some of the material that you may hear in this episode may be a little outdated, but the message that we have included to go with that information is still relevant to this day. So just take that and remember that.
Sure.
Thank you. Enjoy the episode. They have their own armory.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I don't get it. Like, why?
You're waving weapons. You're flashing all this money.
You showing all these bags of drugs. Like, who? What is going through your head?
And the crazy part about it is, like, some of these people, when I unfollowed them and said, "Are you sure you want to unfollow them?" You'd have to request them again. Like, that means their page was private, right? Mm-hmm. So they're probably thinking like, oh, because my page is private, I have to approve who follows me or whatever. They think they're good. But no, you're not good. Just because your page is private don't mean that a cop can't pose as somebody else, or, a federal agent can't pose as somebody else just to watch every single move that you make.
Yep. And you think about it, bro. You're posting on a platform that you do not own. Somebody else owns that. In which, if the federal government decides to, hey, we need to get access to this, bro, these companies will give up all that information just to cooperate with them.
Impact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, JaMichael Moore.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to their community.
Let's grow.
I love it.
Mike.
What's good, brother?
We are back.
Yes, sir.
It feels like we haven't recorded in like a month.
Probably. Kinda.
You know what? It's roughly there. I guess it's about that time, right?
Not quite though.
Not quite a month, but almost a month.
Yeah.
So, first things first, I just wanted to say thank each and every single one of you guys who have been listening to us and watching our clips on social media. Yep. Especially with the following that we've gained on Instagram and TikTok. We want to thank you guys because y'all have just definitely been supporting us. Even though we've been putting out new episodes, it's just been a few episodes that we were just kind of like keeping on ice, for lack of better words. Only because life, ladies and gentlemen. I got a new job recently, so it has been very physically demanding and very time consuming. So I haven't really had the time to really put into the podcast as much as I used to. And let's just say I don't want to say that it's an excuse because, man, your physical health along with your mental health matters. So when I'm working a 10 to 12 hour shift on a regular basis, a brother is tired and I need to get my rest. But I know I need to put in as much work into my dreams, my goals, my vision, my podcast, our podcast, even though it really is just mine. You feel me? He's just here to assist me.
Ooh, if you don't get your
But yeah, and then I know I got to put in the work for my dreams because I know we are both going to be successful at this. So,
amen.
I'm not trying to make any excuses. Just a brother just be tired from working 10 to 12 hours a day. But that's going to change, man. We're going to get back to the same level of consistency that we've had before I got this job. And we're going to keep it rocking because this means a lot to me, man.
Yes,
I know it means a lot to you as well. So we definitely going to keep it moving. And I know it means a lot to the listeners, the audience, our family. It means a lot to y'all too. Especially because, I know I told you this, but my mother even subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Hey, shout out to her, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like that just shows me that there are people out there who like believe in us.
Yeah.
Especially I got this. We got this message on our IG a few days ago. I don't know if you've seen it, Mike.
Oh, what is it?
It was from one of our followers on Instagram, Foreign Coco.
Okay.
She sent us a picture of a graduation cap that she designed, and it said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great."
Oh, who said that?
Us. And I saw that and it really, really motivated me to just not give up on this at all.
Yeah.
No matter how many hours I work a day, no matter how many hours of overtime I may pick up each week, this is not only important to us, but it's important to those people who are out there listening to us on a consistent basis, those people who believe in us, those people who really, really like enjoy the podcast, man.
Yeah.
And I replied to her. I said, "Congratulations." I sent a bunch of fire emojis because my mind was blown, bro. My mind was blown. And she was like, "Thank you. And thanks for the quote."
Hey, look at that, bro.
Yeah.
Out here inspiring people. We ain't even know it.
We ain't even know it.
Ain't even know it.
That's crazy to me, yo. Like, it's just, that's proof, man.
Yeah.
For those of y'all who are listening and watching, that's really proof that no matter what it is that you got going on in life, if you have found your calling or you believe you found your calling, or if you're just super passionate about doing something that's making an impact on others, don't give up. Don't slow down. Keep that same level of consistency. Keep that same energy, man.
Yeah.
Because you never know who's really watching you. You never know who's looking up to you. You never know who's following you. You never know who needs to hear what it is that you have to say or see what it is that you have to show people.
Big facts, though. Big facts. Just got to keep going, man. There's always somebody watching.
Yeah.
Always, bro. Like, I think I told you the other day, every time I go get my haircut, my barber be like, yo, just remember me when y'all blow up, man, because I be listening. Y'all be dropping them gems, man. Like, give me some of that good wisdom y'all be dropping on the podcast. And I don't be thinking, like, when we're doing this, I'm not thinking that he's listening. We just doing something that we love to do, and the impact comes later. The residual impact. You know what I mean? That residual impact comes later, though.
Hey, and that's the plan, man. That's the goal. Like, that's something that we set out to do when we started this. Like, we didn't realize it was going to have that much of an impact, but this right here is proof. And I'm really at a loss for words with that, man. Yeah. So really, like, shout out to Foreign Coco.
Big facts.
Congratulations on graduating.
Congrats.
And shout out to all the other graduates out there. Like, y'all are amazing. Keep doing what it is that you're doing and going after your dreams.
Yep. Watch out for them student loans, though.
Yo, for real. For real.
Watch out for them loans.
So, with that being said, Mike, how was your week, brother?
But hold on, B. Before you get into it, man, come on, man. We got the housekeeping. I can't let you bypass the housekeeping.
You're right. You absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Can't let you do it yet, man.
You want to do the housekeeping today?
I never did it before, so I will. I can't do it as smooth as you, man, but I definitely give it a shot, though.
Hey, that's all you can do. Remember, you ain't got to be great to start.
But you got to start to be great.
Message!
So give it a shot.
So, welcome everyone that is watching us right now on YouTube. Just want to let you know real quick that if you are watching us and this is your first time, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. We greatly appreciate that. It ain't gonna hurt you. Also, hit that like if you like the video. Also, you can share the video too if you find something that maybe, hey, this was beneficial to me, because guess what? It could be beneficial to somebody else too. So don't withhold that. Also, too, make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, don't know where else.
Everywhere.
Everywhere?
Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts. We're pretty much everywhere that you get your podcast.
Follow us in the streets too.
Bruh. What?
I'm just kidding. You said everywhere they can follow us.
Where they can listen to the show.
Oh, okay. You gotta be more specific, because you know what I mean. I'm just saying, bro.
Anyway, that was good. That was good. You know, definitely. But listen to what he said. Other than following us in the streets, because if you follow me in the streets and I don't know you, just don't be surprised if you get hit with. I'm not even gonna say it.
Get hit with love. Bruh. That's what you're gonna say. You're gonna get hit with love.
Well, I don't carry that with me everywhere I go. I carry something else. I'm just saying. But I'm not going to say what.
He carries hugs with him, y'all. Alright? He carries hugs. I just want you to know that.
He's stupid.
You're absolutely right. Because there's people listening and watching. And we're going to go over that in a little bit. We're going to cover that. Because we know that y'all ain't the only ones listening and watching us. There's other people listening too.
Oh, man. Big facts.
So, with that being said, Mike, let's try this again. How was your week?
This week went pretty quick. Oh, the biggest thing, I got an off day. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey.
Bro, when I get an off day, man, I'll be happy. So yes, I had an off day. I relaxed. I edited some of the podcasts this week. And it was my first podcast editing in a while. It definitely is a lot of work that goes into it. So, as you already know, B. But other than that, man, I just relaxed. It was kind of like a refresher. I think we all need that moment to just recharge. I don't think it's good for anybody to just be on go 24/7, 7 days a week. As even though people be like, yo, the grind don't stop. I ain't gonna point no finger, no elbows, nothing like that. But yeah.
Hey, I still rest, man. That's how you know you work so much.
Yeah.
You excited about a day off.
Man, seriously. Like, you're right. That's exactly how you know, like, you just been on go when you get excited when somebody tell you, hey, man, take the day off. Wait, what?
Right.
I get an off day? But other than that, man, yeah, the week was great. The biggest highlight was having an off day. What about you, though, man?
That's what's up. Well, for me, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, I did start a new job recently. I've been at this new job for at least 3 weeks to a month. Mm-hmm. And it's very physically demanding, right? You know, I'm at the same job, technically. I'm at the same job that I've been at for more than a year. It's just a different position.
Right.
So it's very physically demanding, even more physically demanding than what I have done over the last year. Mm-hmm. And it really takes up so much of my time.
Yeah. It
takes up a lot of my time to the point to where even on my days off, I'm just drained. I'm tired. I'm ready to recharge.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and you know, make some edits to the podcast, or I'll cut certain clips for Instagram and TikTok, but I'm still just like, yo, I just want to relax.
Yeah.
You know, maybe go outside and take my dog for a walk and stuff like that. You know, enjoy, you know, playing fetch with her or something like that. But I'm just like, I'm ready to just chill.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about no work at all.
Mm-hmm.
But as I always say, the grind don't stop. And yes, when he said he wasn't trying to point fingers, he was really trying to point fingers. So that's me. You know, the grind don't stop. It definitely doesn't stop. I believe that, you know, it's something that if you really believe in, if it's something that you're really working towards, you really shouldn't take any days off, because that right there is going to allow you to eventually get the rest and relaxation that you want one day.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, especially when it comes to owning your own business or doing your own, running your own show.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the case may be. So I can't wait for the day that you and I no longer really have to work for anybody else. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we're still recording podcast episodes, doing live shows. Mm-hmm. You know, we might be able to take this on a tour. You never know. We can probably tour the country.
Big facts.
Get to see different places we've never been to before.
Big facts.
Not only that, but I don't know, record a podcast episode on the beach or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't it be crazy to do like a live show in Hawaii somewhere?
You know, that's why I want to go. That's one of the places that's on the list, bro. So yes, it
Same here, man. I've never been, but I think that would be awesome.
I agree too. I don't know where you're gonna plug in stuff though, since you're on the beach. I mean, I guess
a lot of things are wireless nowadays, so I mean, just think about it. Even the lights that we have.
This is true.
There's companies that make lighting setups that are just ran off a battery.
This is true. You're
and
right.
they have, a huge battery life. So, we can get microphones that run off a battery, lights that run off a battery, and we can just record from the beach, man.
Big facts. I don't know if I'm probably gonna be that focused, but I try.
I'm probably not gonna be either, but that's the whole point, man. It's just living and enjoying life. So
big facts, though. I think that would be dope. Let's speak that, man. That's gonna happen. We're gonna speak that into existence.
I would love to, man. That would be great. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's up?
What about recording a show from a yacht?
Oh, come on. You already know we're gonna make that to reality. I love boats.
Man, I love boats too, except for on Lake Lanier. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Although I seen a beautiful, beautiful home, which in Lake Lanier was behind it, like that was one of the selling points. Mm-hmm. Beautiful home, but the fact that it was Lake Lanier, I was like, yeah.
Listen, after knowing what I know about the lake, you cannot catch me.
You won't buy the home?
Heck no. Listen, I don't care if I had all the capital in the world. I'm not investing in a home on Lake Lanier. Even if I, maybe I might Airbnb it if I do buy one, but I'm not staying in that house. I mean, there's going to be people that want to stay in a lake house, but it ain't going to be me. Not on that lake. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You're right.
So that's the only way I can see myself buying a house on Lake Lanier.
It's tough, man. Well, y'all already know what Lake Lanier you got going on, so that's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Very tough one. But I say all of that to say that no matter what happened, during my week, no matter how many hours I work, no matter how much time I spend at my job versus spending at home, like I had to do something different, man. The last position that I was in was great, but the pay wasn't what I needed to accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish. Man, I've been talking about buying equipment for us for the longest. Now, slowly but surely, we are getting different equipment. Like, we already bought new mics, right? Got new lights, right? So the stuff is slowly but surely coming. However, we still want to get, like, the high quality equipment that we've been after for so long, so that we can not only sound better acoustically or vocally, we can just have the soundboard at our fingertips. We can do like the massive collabs that we want to do. Shout out to all the other podcasts who want to collab with us. Y'all know who you are. We're going to make it happen. We're just waiting to make some moves first because we want to be able to accommodate everybody in one space.
Right.
But yeah, man, like this new position is going to help me be able to do that within a matter of like maybe 1 or 2 paychecks. And I just had to get out of my comfort zone, man. Because you and I both know that comfort zones are no good.
Yeah.
Nothing good comes out of comfort zones.
Yeah.
So you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in order to move forward in life.
Of course.
Because nothing changes if what?
You don't change.
There you go.
That's real talk. That's easier. It's definitely easier said than done, but yeah. And I can remember when you were starting the position now, and just how you were like, yo, I don't know nothing. I want to know it. It was a little bit uncomfortableness, but it was like that was change. That was you actually growing into the position. So that was, you put yourself in there, man. And look at you. You doing it now.
I am.
Let me hold some.
I ain't got it. Listen, you got more than I do.
So, come on, man.
I'm sure man, you got more than I do.
You got it, man. You got it, bro.
So, yeah, man, if you have an opportunity to grow, if you have an opportunity to change and remove yourself from whatever level of comfort you had previously, just go ahead and do it, because you might be holding yourself back if you stay in your comfort zone. If you stay comfortable where you're at and you don't want to grow, you don't want to change, you might be holding yourself back from something, and you might be setting yourself up for something worse.
Yeah, that's true. And just be wary of like, we'll want certain things, and we'll be like, yo, I wish I had this, right? And then like life will kind of present something to us. But then if you're so comfortable with being in your comfort zone, you won't take that chance on whatever that thing that's been presented to you. But that exact thing is what's supposed to get you to where you're trying to go. So I think that's something to be mindful of as we ask for these different things or want different things in our life. It's like, yo, okay, life gonna be like, okay, let me see. Let me put something in front of him, see if he gonna take this.
Right.
So you said something key right there, though, B.
Speaking of not wanting to leave comfort zones.
What's up, man?
We want to talk about one of the main discussions that we wanted to bring to the forefront today.
Lord.
There is a group, or quote-unquote alleged gang, known as YSL, or Young Slime Life, that's pretty well known out here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they're pretty infamous everywhere else that you can watch them on the news, because YSL may be facing some major time behind bars thanks to a RICO charge that they were just indicted on.
Yeah.
Now, for those of y'all who don't know, RICO is an acronym that stands for Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations. So the whole YSL organization, I'll just refer to them as organization, because I don't know if YouTube gonna flag the word gang. I'm gonna say gang anyway, but let's get it done like that.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either. So you know what? You know the alleged, I will say, because I don't know any of these activities for sure.
Right.
But according to the news outlets and everything that's been reported over the last week as we've been recording this, the YSL gang, supposedly led by, or allegedly led by rapper Young Thug, have been brought up on recent charges I don't have all the charges in front of me, so I'm not gonna say what they've been indicted on. But let's just say again, they may be facing some major time behind bars, up to life.
Yeah.
It was reported that allegedly, with the help of SWAT, Atlanta PD and the Sheriff's Office of Fulton County raided Young Thug's residence on Monday, May 9th, 2022. And according to documents obtained by Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie, at the time of Young Thug's arrest, he was in possession of 20 bottles of YSL slime drink, which contains THC, 1,299 grams of Mary Jane, 31 bottles of promethazine codeine syrup, a Glock 45 firearm, a Glock 357 firearm, an FN57 firearm, a Glock 19 9mm, a Smith & Wesson, and a fully automatic Glock 45 9mm with an extended magazine and a converter switch.
Good Lord.
So, yeah. These documents stated that he was caught with all of this, all of the things that I just mentioned after his home was raided, and he was placed under arrest that same day. So right now, Young Thug, or as his government name suggests, Jeffrey Lamar Williams, is currently locked up in Fulton County Jail. And just a few days after that, his rap associate, as I will call him, Gunna, famous Atlanta rapper Gunna, also turned himself in. I believe it was Wednesday, May 11th.
Well, first I want to know what goes through your head. Like, I want to know, like, for Gunna, like, because they caught Young Thug and everything. They raided his house.
Yeah.
But like, what is going through your mind knowing that, man, I gotta go to jail? Like, I gotta turn myself in because they looking for me, and I don't know. First, that just made me think, like, what's going through the head of these cats? But man, look, these are some serious allegations against these people, and it's, I don't know what to say, man. It's because they know if they did something,
Right.
they know what they were doing, as far as, I mean, they got all the stuff in the house and everything, and they I did see one thing allegedly saying that they had all the pounds of marijuana and everything and all that with intent to distribute. So it's a very interesting situation, and we all can say, hey, why would you do that with all this fame and this money that you're making? But
because that's exactly what I was thinking, man. Like Young Thug and Gunna.
Yeah.
From what I heard on the radio, I think it was V103 reported that Young Thug is supposedly worth at least $8 million. Right? You got all this bread, and you're allegedly out here, with ties to gang activity in the streets.
Yeah. But I mean, you gotta think about it. They had that before they got the fame, though.
True.
So that just doesn't go away because you made it. Nah, you still have those ties. You still have people that are in the streets that know you, that you've probably done things for. They done things for you, and it can be hard to leave that lifestyle, even though you're up now. You're up top. You've made it to a level now to where your hands don't have to be directly in it, but you have some effect. You gotta think about it. When you're in a gang, you do certain things to get you to another level. I don't know these things personally. I just want to let everybody know that. All right, this is just all I heard. I want to put this disclaimer up there. But
I was about to say,
I know it sounds like I'm speaking for my experience or something.
If I didn't know you the way that I know you, I'd be looking at you sideways right now, like
y'all know me. But I just know a lot of people, and I heard some things. But no, seriously, like I just know you have to do certain things to get, it's like a hierarchy. Same way in a job, you do certain things, you get promoted, and that's the same thing. It works with a gang. So Young Thug had a life before the whole music industry, so he probably did certain things to get him to a place. And then once you reach the fame, you got access to this money now. You can just put money in certain places, and hey, y'all go do what y'all need to do. I must be over here, And he probably got people reporting to him, but unfortunately, clearly, this is what has led, ties to him getting this RICO charge.
And it's crazy that you mentioned that, man, because there was a situation that I read about where Young Thug allegedly rented a Infiniti coupe, and that same white Infiniti coupe was used several years ago. When he rented it, around the time that he rented it, it was used several years ago in a homicide where an associate of YFN Lucci was gunned down. And Lucci, I think, even made an album dedicated to that associate or that friend of his that was gunned down. And allegedly, this is what I've heard, kind of started the beef between YSL and YFN. So I don't know what's been going on with that, but, supposedly, right now, from what I've read, Young Thug and YFN Lucci are both in lockdown in the Fulton County Jail. And there was an alleged attempt made on YFN Lucci's life probably about 2 months ago. So, and it was reported by TMZ that Lucci was shanked behind bars in early March. And it's, again, this is all alleged, but it's alleged that Young Thug may have given the order to have that hit put out on him. I don't know, but they've been beefing for quite some time. And now they're behind bars in the same facility together. So I can't even imagine what that's going to look like.
I don't know nothing about jail, so I can't even get my take on it.
Same here.
I
don't want to know.
Neither do I, bro. I just know the rules is a little different in there. And it's... Because, too, a lot of times, a lot of these people in jail, they know who's coming before they even get there. So it's like... YFN probably got some people that's like, yo, prepare yourself, and Young Thug probably got some people that's already in there like, yo, I'm getting ready to pull up, y'all get ready for me. I don't know. That's a whole crazy situation. I don't want to be a part of what they got going on.
Me either.
It sucks because of where they have reached to as far as like their status and the things that they've achieved, and they've done some good things for the community as well. And it just sucks to see those brothers like now. It's like you already know they look at black people weird and different.
Of course.
They look down on us.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like, oh, well, look, we got them. Look, there goes some more right there. And it's unfortunate.
But that just brings me to the question. Once you make it to a certain level in life, let's say according to what you said, you know, regarding like the hierarchy, like if you start at a certain level in a gang and you work your way up, and like you have this sort of fame, this sense of status because of like a music career or sports or business that you may have launched, you know, thinking about James St. Patrick in the TV show Power.
Right.
You know, once you've reached that level in life, do you still have to run with that same gang? Like, do you still have to kind of like put money aside or like participate in those activities with that gang? Or can you say, listen, I don't do that anymore. I'm at this certain point of life. I'll do whatever I can to help bring you guys up. You know, those are the people who I came with. Or just be like, listen, if y'all don't want to change, y'all are only going to bring me down. I don't want any ties to that life anymore because I've elevated. I've worked hard to elevate, and I want you all to do the same. And if you can't elevate with me, or if you won't let me help you to elevate, I'm out.
I wish it was that easy, but I don't. A lot of times when you join a gang, it's almost like, you ever heard of the term blood in, blood out?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's kind of like that. Like, you've made like a commitment. Like, even when you out, you still not even out. Like, I just know a lot of people, once you're in that thing, bro, it's hard to get out. That's just what, you know, I've heard personally. It's not just something you can, all right, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for the opportunity, but I'm gonna head out, right? I don't know if it worked like that, be unfortunate.
I don't think it works, you know, quite to that extent. You know, I get that.
Yo.
I'm just saying, it's like these guys have a lot to lose.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I get it when you don't have like a sense of fame, you don't have that notoriety, you're not well known, you don't have a lot of people across the country or all over the world who look up to you because of what it is that you do in life. You know, you might not have as much to lose because your face is not out there, your name is not out there, your brand that you work so hard to build is not out there. But rappers like this, you know, Gunna, Young Thug, even YF and Lucci, like y'all, they have built a name for themselves. They have built brands. They've built a massive following. All three of them, and it's like they still either want to or have to still have ties with their past life, man, or still put in that work.
Yeah. Or I think too, probably the situation is like, okay, you have people under you that know, okay, you've reached a certain place to where you have a lot to lose, so you cannot be directly associated with some of this stuff. But what we gonna do is, us as these young people, we're gonna take care of the stuff that's below you and beneath you. Just throw us some money probably, and then we're gonna take care of that. But we still gonna probably associate ourselves with this whole YSL family, allegedly. And I think that's kind of probably what their situation is. It's like, I guarantee Young Thug his hands wasn't touching nothing. That's why I heard his lawyer say, you know, he's completely innocent. He hasn't committed no crime, because it's probably directly to him, he's did nothing. But there's probably people under him that represent the same name and brand that he has built for himself that do the dirty work.
But that actually made me think of something. Because even though he's no longer like hands-on, allegedly, and, you know, YSL's activities,
Right.
It's been reported that the courts are using his lyrics, no matter how old his lyrics are. And Thug's been rapping, I think, since 2012, 2013 at least? The courts are using his lyrics against him. For example, this indictment lists certain lyrics from 9 Young Thug songs, including Ski. Right, Ski was a hit. I think it came out last year or the year before, but Ski was a hit. I don't even really listen to Young Thug, but I was blasting Ski. You know what I'm saying? That was a bop.
Yeah.
So this right here that I'm about to read is being reported by Apple News, and it says in his 2019 song, Just How It Is, the line, I done did the robbing, I done did the jacking, now I'm full rapping, and it's all my business. We know to kill the biggest cats of all kittens, which the court deems in the indictment an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. So they've also cited several other lyrics in Young Thug, and one of them came from a 2021 song called Bad Boy, which says, Smith & Wesson 4-5 put a hole in his heart. Better not play with me. Killers, they stay with me. And I shot at his mommy. Now he no longer mentioned me. Mm-hmm. So that's just a few of the lyric examples that the courts are using against him. And they're right here in plain sight. Like, it's just crazy how not only his lyrics, but social media posts, no matter how old those posts are being used against him.
This reminds me of like something that I heard somebody say on, I think it was Instagram, but he said, just be careful of the words you speak, because even though they might not directly, be affected by you, like you might not directly see the effect, there's something around you that is creating that space for which you are speaking for. Mm-hmm. So it's like I look at all these words, because, a lot of times we be bopping to these songs, but a lot of times, bro, let's be honest, they're talking about killing somebody or hurting somebody, selling drugs, doing something bad.
That's true.
But then when we see these things happen to them, we kind of like act surprised, like, oh my gosh, no, not Young Thug. He's a stand-up citizen, like, but we done bypassed.
Especially with that name, Young Thug.
Come on, now, like, if we being honest, it's a lyric that he said that's never really sat well with me, but it was in a song where he had with T.I., he was like, something, I shout out the Reverend, I shoot at the Reverend.
Oh, yeah. That was in About the Money. Yeah,
like, I mean, come on now, let's not bypass that. He's talking about shooting at a Reverend. Mm-hmm. Like, nothing about that is good. It was just the beat behind it, everybody just rocking with.
Yeah, because About the Money was my jam.
Come on, like, I mean, think about that. But it's just, like, we can't act surprised when these things happen to these people because, hey, they've been talking about it for so long. Mm-hmm. So
I can understand if this is the lifestyle that these guys came from and they lived that life at one point. But at what point do you say, like, I cannot be associated with this anymore? Even if you still have people that you came up with who still live that lifestyle. Like you kind of said, maybe I don't have to be directly attached to this, but and I'm not glorifying this. I'm not saying that this is okay. But, let me go ahead and stash some cash aside, put it somewhere to where y'all can operate, do your business, but just know it came from me. But nobody else got to know that it came from me type stuff. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe this is what they are thinking, but they don't realize that the feds is watching. And granted, I understand that this RICO charge that's being brought up against them is not a federal indictment. It's a state indictment. Right. It's being brought by Fulton County District Attorney Office and Fulton County Police Department or the Sheriff's Office. Mm-hmm. But this is all, just Atlanta based. This is statewide. This is not federal. Right. So I get it. And what I've read or what I've heard mostly is that at least with a federal RICO charge, it's going to be extremely tough to beat because the feds have a 95% conviction rate. But because this is state level, and it just involves local Atlanta police, nothing federal, nothing countrywide, it could be beatable, at least by Young Thug and Gunna. Yeah. Because as you said, you heard that, allegedly, his lawyer said that he was not hands-on in this. Yeah. So, a state charge can be beaten.
Yeah. I heard, I think from the DA, they were saying, like, they've been waiting, maybe even years to make the right move. So apparently this is something that they've been plotting on. And for them to make such a big accusation against people they know are like very, very well known, you gotta have something.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have something.
Yeah, you can't just pull nothing out of thin air if you're like,
nah.
Got him.
You're not about to go to nobody's house, raid it, knowing you're gonna get all this publicity from it without something that's you feel like, okay, we got something against these guys.
It's mind blowing because all of this stuff has been plaguing at least our community, right? I can't speak on nobody else's community, but this stuff has been plaguing our community for decades. We've covered it before in a previous episode when we talked about music, you know, and how influential hip hop music is, and how a lot of us who listen to these songs, we don't pay attention to the lyrics.
Yeah, we don't.
We pay attention to the beat. We listen to it over and over and over again. Yeah. The lyrics subconsciously stay in our minds to where, you know, we can recite them if we needed to. And who knows, maybe we just, I don't know, a lot of us glorify this stuff way too much.
Yeah. This is a call to action, bro. It's like we got to start realizing that it's more than just a song. Because you can go back in history to how many people have made such vulgar and like extreme songs, and then their life has led them down a bad path. But we're like, for some reason, we're not seeing the connection a lot of times, or we make the connection too late. We just vibing to the music.
Right.
But then we're not really seeing like, oh shoot, hold on now, man. Maybe our words are a little bit more powerful than I thought.
Like how we were talking about in the last episode, how, you know, you heard kids reciting the lyrics to Kodak Black's Super Gremlin.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't hear, you know, I didn't think that I heard the song because I didn't recognize the title. But again, just like how I constantly hear Pushing P on the radio, Super Gremlin is constantly played on the radio.
Yeah, I bet.
I guess the kids are, you know, really rapping to it or singing to it because even the hook on the song is sang by kids.
Yeah.
Or it's made to seem like it's being sang by kids, so kids are going to gravitate towards that.
Right.
It's that simple, man. Like, even when we were kids, there were a lot of songs out that we've listened to and even heard. I think you referenced in a previous episode how one Gucci Mane song influenced you a lot to, like, wake and bake or do whatever. Like, it's just crazy, man.
What was that?
We don't even think about it until we're past that point of our lives where it's like, yo, where did I get this from?
Yeah. Or your life is, you have certain things that are from the music in your life already.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize it. So, yeah.
And it blows my mind. And this was something I couldn't understand as a kid. But I remember when I was younger, one of my favorite, like, I don't know, record labels at the time, like their roster was amazing to me. I listened to all of their music, was Rockefeller, right? So you had Jay-Z, Memphis Bleak, even though I can't really name too many Memphis Bleak songs off the top of my head right now.
Round Hill,
that's the only one.
Not the only one I know.
But, you know, Memphis Bleak, Philadelphia Freeway, you know what I'm saying? Even though that wasn't his full name, but, you know, Freeway.
Was Benny Siegel on there?
Beanie Siegel, Emil.
Dame, when he was more like behind the scenes.
Dame was behind the scenes, yeah, until, you know, Jay kind of took over Rockefeller from Dame. Yeah. And you even had the Diplomats, all of them. Like, Rockefeller was like, that was it for me. Like, I used to listen to everybody on there. I've seen both State Property movies, even though there definitely didn't need to be a second State Property, because if you've seen the first State Property, you know State Property 2 should have never happened. But I will say that I remember when I was a kid, I think I was in middle school, when like all the hip hop clothing was popular, Sean John, Rockaware, like my mother bought me all those clothes, right? And when State Property came out with their clothing line, my mom refused to buy me State Property. And I never understood why. Like, I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, it's a clothing line. It's the name of a rap group that I listen to. And she's like trying to tell me State Property means that I'm property of the state. Like, I'm locked up. And I remember just even looking back at it, like a lot of the clothes that they designed or the clothes that they had out with State Property on it, I wouldn't say like a lot of it was prison related, but there was one State Property piece that I wanted. But my mom definitely wouldn't buy it for me, of course, because of the whole State Property thing. But it was a jumpsuit, right? So it was a one piece. It was a jumpsuit. Like, it was, I thought it would look clean with a pair of Timbs. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is like, you go to prison. What do a lot of prisoners wear? They wear jumpsuits. Yeah. You know, one of the ones that I thought was pretty fashionable was like an all denim jumpsuit. But, of course, they made some that were kind of like the material of the shirt that I got on, this Dickies work shirt. And it was like, it's like prison attire. Right. So it blows my mind how influential the music is, how influential it is on fashion, and even back then how I wanted to wear like Rockaware and State Property, and my mother wasn't having it.
Right.
So I think about it now, like we don't think enough about how influential this stuff really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that till you really broke it down to me that you're property of the state. I didn't really listen to them like that, but yeah, that makes sense. So, I mean, we don't really realize it until it has had an effect on us, or you know. So thank God for your mom to be able to notice that, you know, ahead of time before you. So probably kept you out of the state.
For real, because I don't know, man. It's just the whole thing about, now I know this is slightly different than just wearing certain fashion pieces or whatever, but growing up, my parents, of course mostly my mom, but my parents kind of broke down to me the whole guilt by association thing.
Yeah.
Right? So for those of y'all who don't know, my father was a cop. You know, he was employed by NYPD. I can't really, of course I can't talk to him about it now because he's been gone for 10 years, but I remember he used to teach me a lot about ways to, not really ways to stay out of prison, but he used to tell me, you know, that I needed to be on my P's and Q's. I needed to be, you know, good. I needed to like, I guess, whatever parents used to say, like get good grades in school, stay on the right path, whatever, or you're going to end up in here. Mm-hmm. Like the only time I've ever seen the inside of a holding cell was because my dad took me to his precinct and he threw me in the holding cell and was like, listen, if you don't fix your grades or if you don't straighten up in life, this is where you're going to end up. But it's not just going to be here. It's going to be, you know, in an actual jail cell with jail, you know, with roommates or bunkmates or whatever the heck they call. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like he was telling me about that.
Yeah.
So I guess that was my little scared straight moment. But my mom always talked to me about guilt by association. And she was telling me how, you know, just be careful who I surround myself with. Be careful who I hang out with because you just never know who's out there doing what. Mm-hmm. And you might be rolling with somebody, I think similar to a story that you mentioned in a previous episode. You might be with somebody who you don't even know. You just might be associated with them. Like maybe it's somebody that you just met. Like how you said you met somebody at I think it was PCB.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were involved in a fight and cops almost arrested you because of that situation. But it's because you were supposedly associated with those guys because people seen you with them. You didn't even know them. But because of that association, you were guilty just like them.
Yeah. That's crazy, too. Crazy even to think about. But, yep. Just that quick.
So I was always told to be careful who I surround myself with. Be careful whose car I get into.
Yeah.
I don't know who might, you know, have a piece tucked under the seat. Who might have something stashed in the trunk. I don't know.
Yeah, this is true.
So
this is true.
If they got pulled over and I'm just caught in the whip and they got something in there,
going down with them.
I'm going exactly. I can't be like, yo, I had no idea about none of that. It was him. I'm a black man in America. Of course I'm gonna go down with him. I'm gonna be in the same situation. Like I'm getting caught with my hands, you know, or I'm getting caught red-handed, as people would say. Like I knew nothing about it, but because I'm associated with this person, you think they won't care?
Now this just makes me think about everybody in the, you know, this whole YSL gang thing, right? You know, they got the no snitching thing, right? So it's like, I mean, you know, you being Young Thug, having the notoriety and fame and all that you got, like, are you snitching to get out? Like, are you like, nah, I ain't got nothing to do, but they, you know, they did it, you know. But if they like, yo, you gotta tell us something, or we're gonna give you a minimum of, I don't know, 15 years. Like, what do you do?
Hey, all I'm gonna say is 28 people been indicted.
Oh,
somebody's gonna snitch.
Somebody talking.
Somebody has to snitch.
Because they throw around them years. Man, what?
And like the DA said, you know, Fonnie Willis, she said that maximum penalties for gang activities, yo, the maximum penalty for anything is life.
You throw out life if somebody see it, they ain't gonna. All you gotta do is just tell me a name or you getting life.
Oh,
which one? Are you sticking to the nah, no snitching, bro? I ain't gonna be no snitch. Knowing that the other side of that is life in prison. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Hey, check this out, bro. My man's right here.
Like, you guys high today or what? Like,
yo.
How much time you got?
Yo, I'm sorry.
Tell everybody.
Yo, what? I'm sorry. Can I get that coffee real quick? Check this out, man.
Yo, if I'm going to be here, if you want me to give up some... I need this type of meal.
Yo.
Bring me not a coffee. Bring me a milkshake. I don't think they can get alcohol in there, but I think I remember I was watching the episode of The Wire years ago, and they wanted this dude to snitch when he was arrested. So the cops gave him pretty much a bomb meal. Like, I think he wanted a burger, some fries, and a milkshake or something like that. And the cops gave it to him because they knew he was going to sing. It's like, oh, that's all you want? Yeah, we'll run to whatever, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. We'll get you the meal. So that reminded me of the white boy that shot up the church. They took this man to Burger King after they arrested him.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story in itself, right?
It is.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like, somebody's got to snitch in this situation.
Yeah, you got way too many people. Maybe that was another reason why they didn't want to let him out, because they know, like, okay, if we let him out, he can go, be around some people, talk to some people, get them to, hey, look, take this and you'll be straight. I'm gonna set you up. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna at least set your family up. I'm gonna make sure they taken care of.
Yeah,
so
they probably didn't want none of that. They like, yo, we need to keep him under our surveillance. Period. Yo,
just think about it though. Speaking of surveillance, man, how many phones might have been tapped? How many like, I don't know, internet lines were being monitored?
Yeah.
I mean, you already have the whole social media thing.
Yeah.
That kind of helped play a part in this. Like, yo, the district attorney even said, and I quote, "Social media is a wonderful tool for prosecutors in every indictment we bring nowadays."
Yeah. She
said this in a press conference that was streamed, right? And it was all over the news. And before she even said that quote, she laughed after a reporter asked how important is social media in this indictment.
I mean, think about it. Think about where we get a lot of our news from. Think about how quickly we find out about stuff. We go straight to social media. We don't. A lot of us don't go to the news first. We don't go to do our own research, bro. We can find out so much stuff so quick right from social media.
Yeah,
she is right.
Like, I watched this press conference streamed on YouTube. That's where I saw it. I saw it on YouTube. I didn't see it. I didn't read it in the newspaper. I didn't see it on the news on TV. No, I saw it on YouTube.
I saw it from Instagram first. They had the slides already ready. I'm like, wow. Like, bro, they are quick.
Yeah.
And think about how fast they'll pull up something old of like a Young Thug lyric. They be like, look at how lyrics are infected. I don't know. I'm making up something. But the internet will come up with something so fast. And then they be like, the cops are probably looking at this like, oh, hey, have y'all saw this new post? Like, they're doing the work for them. Like, that's crazy.
So it just really, raises the question, how often are we telling on ourselves? Like, does somebody even have to snitch in this indictment, or did they all snitch on themselves?
They all snitched on themselves, or they've at least put enough information out there to be like, okay, well, this is showing me this. You have to show me something otherwise because this is clear evidence. So I think that's one of the things. It's a little bit of both.
Yo, that's crazy, and I can definitely talk about this all day, but I know that there's a lesson in here somewhere. And the moral of the story that I would like to say, at least, or what I took from this, is if you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Yeah.
And I know that's easier said than done, but yo, there are so many people in hot water right now. And this is only the 28 people that have been indicted. Imagine how many other people were attached to YSL that may still be under surveillance.
Yeah, man. Allegedly, I saw a paper of a bunch of different quote unquote gangs, that they're looking into eventually. But when one of them was, Lil Baby and his crew, 4PF, they had their names written down on the whole sheet of different people. So, because Lil Baby got in the whole industry because of Young Thug and stuff like that. So, that's a whole thing in itself. But yeah, man, they're looking into boom, boom, boom. Because think about it. If they can't get them to snitch on their own group, some of this 25 people, they gonna be like, hey, well, I know some people that's over in this way that ain't got no. I'm not connected.
I ain't got no ties to them.
Yeah.
I ain't got no loyalty to them.
But yeah, you said it, man. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time, brother. Like, and none of us is perfect. Of course, a lot of these people, man, they were raised in environments that probably made them do certain things.
Yeah.
That they had to do to protect themselves, or even to be alive today. But hey, man, it's at some age you do have to take accountability.
Not just that, but like as a community, bro, when does it stop? Like we've discussed that, in the past we've discussed that a lot of the people who we look up to are the rappers and the athletes and the entertainers in our community. Like we consider a lot of them to be our leaders.
Right.
Look at how many people are online talking about free YSL, free Young Thug, free Gunna.
Right.
And if they are if they really did everything that this case that was built against them said that they did, do these brothers really deserve to be free?
No. I mean, you gotta take accountability. If you did something wrong, let's take accountability, and whatever your punishment is, hey, you have to take that on the chin. That's a part of the game.
So with that being said, everybody who looks up to people like Young Thug and Gunna and anybody else in YSL or even YFN, when do we really separate as a community? When do we really separate life from art or art from reality? Like, I can understand listening to their music because, like I said, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I was bopping the ski.
Right.
I'm not going to say it was one of my favorite songs, but I've streamed it a few times. You know what I'm saying? I can't really name any other Young Thug songs other than Hot. That also had Gunna on it. And that song, The London, was that a Travis Scott song or was that a Young Thug song? That was a Travis Scott song?
That was Travis Scott featuring
Okay. Well, that's the only other thing that I know that Young Thug was attached to, other than Lifestyle. Because
Come on, brother.
Lifestyle was everywhere. they still play that on the radio.
Man, it's before Young Thug got famous too, I allegedly I heard some stuff about him that he used to do, and that was kind of wild and crazy. So
Dang.
It was apparently this is not even his first run-in with the law and doing just crazy stuff. So I don't know, man. We just gotta be careful, bro. Your actions, they hold an equal or opposite reaction. So just remember that, man.
Like, there are lessons to be found here. Another lesson is the people are watching you.
Yeah.
Be careful of what you post on your social media. Like, I've unfollowed so many people who I don't even know why I was following them in the first place, but they waving guns on their Instagram.
Bruh.
They flashing a whole bunch. Like, they have their own armory.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I don't get it. Like, why?
You're waving weapons. You're flashing all this money.
You showing all these bags of drugs. Like, what is going through your head?
And the crazy part about it is, like, some of these people, when I unfollowed them, it said, "Are you sure you want to unfollow them?" You'd have to request them again. Like, that means their page was private, right? So they're probably thinking like, "Oh, because my page is private, I have to approve who follows me or whatever." They think they're good, but no, you're not good. Just because your page is private, don't mean that a cop can't pose as somebody else. Or, a federal agent can't pose as somebody else just to watch every single move that you make.
Yep. And you think about it, bro. You're posting on a platform that you do not own. Somebody else owns that. In which, if the federal government decides to, hey, we need to get access to this, bro, these companies will give up all that information just to cooperate with them.
Because whenever you join these social media platforms, you're pretty much giving up your right to privacy.
Yep.
Whatever it is that you post, that's on you.
Public domain.
Yeah, that is on you. And it's public for everybody to see.
Yep.
So
be careful, man. Hopefully some of these young brothers heed to this, man. I think that's needed to be heard.
I hope so, because I'm tired of seeing us in prison. I'm tired of seeing us behind bars. Like, we've talked about it in episode 31, how there have been a lot of different things that were created to separate the black nuclear family.
Yeah.
right? We talked about welfare being one of those things.
Yeah.
And how one thing we didn't mention was like mass incarceration.
Yeah, of course.
But, you know, this is a prime example. Like all of the stuff that we listen to, all of the stuff that we watch, all the stuff that we feed into. Remember, I've said it before, you turn into what you tune into. Yeah. So if people are constantly listening to this, they're constantly watching what their favorite rappers are doing. Like you said, you never know what they did to get whatever it is that they have. And all we see is like, yo, that man iced out, that woman is iced out. Mm-hmm. They got this car, they got this much money, they got all the jewelry, they got all the fine women, you know, whatever. We don't know what they did to get there.
Exactly. So
we got to watch what it is that we subconsciously feed ourselves and just say, yo, this ain't it. You got to listen to God. You got to listen to your gut. You got to listen to your elders. When they try to steer you in a certain direction, man, none of those three things that I just mentioned are trying to hurt you. Mm-hmm. We can't stress this enough, man. We need more two-parent households. We need more mothers and fathers in the home. We cannot have all of us being locked up, all of our men being removed from society and being placed behind bars. And I'm not saying that, you know, every single one of them is being wrongfully accused of something, because clearly in all of the news that we've reported today, like, I'm sure all 28 people are not innocent. I'm sure of it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, we can't keep feeding into all of this nonsense that's going to keep us in the same generational curse that we've been indulged in or we've been involved in for decades.
Right.
We just really need to stop indulging in all of this stuff, and we need to make sure that we feed our subconscious mind, we feed our thoughts, we feed our intellect, we feed ourselves with as much positivity as possible, as much knowledge as possible, as much, you know, stuff that's going to improve improve ourselels or improve the people that are around us, improve our neighborhoods and improve our society, whatever. We got to stay away from the negativity, man. Enough is enough, like, for real. Like, that's all I want to say with that.
Yeah, man. You heard it, man. That's it. So let's do it. That's it. We just got to put action behind it.
All right, guys, real quick. This is future us, right? We technically shot this episode that you're currently watching and listening to about a month ago. Maybe just a little bit more than a month ago. So much has happened since then that we just decided to record and include some of those things that have been happening, so that way you guys don't be like, oh, well, this is old news. Well, yeah, in the beginning of the episode, we said that some of the stuff is old news, but the message behind it is still current, right? Like, it can still be applied to today, even though it's been... Anyway, with all that being said, a couple of things that we wanted to touch on. Number one, this whole trial with YSL has just been ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
For starters, certain people involved in the case have been receiving threats from people online, starting with the Fulton County Sheriff, Patrick Labatt, and his wife have been receiving threats from this 18-year-old young man who was arrested a few weeks ago, all because of the YSL case. Now, I understand Young Thug, Gunna, and their squad, they have fans, right? They have people who listen to them, people who look up to them. Mm-hmm. But to go so far as sending threats, right? Life-threatening, for the YouTube algorithm, threats out to high-profile officials, government officials. What's going on?
Stupid.
I mean, even if you're behind a computer screen, you do understand that you can still be tracked, right? You can still be found out, right? Not only would the cops knock on your door, but it's possible that the feds, the federal government, they can knock on your door because of the stuff that you are sending out behind your computer screen or your phone screen. Again, This young 18-year-old dude threatened to take out the sheriff and his wife on social media over the arrest of Young Thug and other YSL members, right? So this is according to ATL Uncensored News from a post that they put up a few weeks ago. This guy, well, since he's 18, I mean, his information is out there. He's an adult, right? Quartavius Mender left several comments on Instagram threatening to take out Sheriff Labat and his wife unless a high-profile defendant in the RICO case gets released from custody. Stupid. So this falls under social media cyberbullying, right? And Mender is currently being held without bond in the Fulton County Jail, charged with 23 felony counts of terroristic threats. 23.
All for some people that don't know you.
Right. Just because you enjoy their music.
Hey man, he riding for them. Even so much he riding for them behind bars like
bruh.
Let's see who gonna ride for him.
That's what I'm saying though. It's like you go so hard for these people. Who's gonna go hard for you? Like, would you go this hard for your friends? Like your true friends?
Mm-hmm. The fact that he ain't got bond too, that sucks. Like, I'm pretty sure you just didn't wake up. You know what? I want to go to jail today. I want to be without bond today. What the heck? Bruh. Stupid.
Oh, man.
Stupid.
So, yeah.
Hope it's a lesson learned behind this.
I hope so, too. But then again, you never know. Because shortly after this, there were some more life-threatening messages that surfaced online. This time targeted towards Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis. Now, we talked about her pretty extensively in the actual episode, but she has been receiving numerous threats because of this case, to the point to where she said that she pretty much has to keep her head on a swivel because she fears for her own life at this point. It's crazy, man. So really, I mean, even though the 18-year-old was made an example out of for quote-unquote cyberbullying, I guess, I don't think that he's really been made an example of. Like, people are still out there threatening these these government officials because of YSL.
I mean, until somebody actually tries to do something, I mean, threat is a threat. I don't really think, I don't know. Because somebody could put some money behind it and really do something, but I don't see that happening. I'll be surprised. I think a lot of these are just some teens that are really upset that their artists aren't behind bars.
You know, possibly. But according to an article on hiphopdx.com, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis became a high-profile name after she announced the indictment surrounding Young Thug, Gunna, and other members of Young Stoner Life Records for racketeering charges. In an interview with WSB-TV, Willis explained how since she's taken on the case regarding YSL and its alleged operation as a street gang, she's faced numerous threats on her life regarding both her handling of the YSL case and the creation of a special grand jury to investigate efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. Now, that second part I didn't know about, right? I knew about her receiving threats because of the YSL case, but wow. She is quoted as saying, "I am much more cautious than I've ever been in my life, of paying attention to my surroundings. It's required for me to stay alive."
I mean, you're in a profession of, regardless of the matter is, even though she's a DA, I mean, you're in a profession where you have to, like, you got to know this comes with the job. I mean, even as a police officer, when you arrest certain people, you still got to watch your back. You still have to be mindful of that and understand that, hey, man, you know, any day your life can be taken. I mean, I think that's a part of the risk in being in that profession.
Yeah, it is. But to that point, I will say I believe that, at least with a police officer, they fully understand the risks, right? They even carry weapons because they understand that risk. DAs don't walk around, to my knowledge. I'm sure they may, they may be licensed to conceal.
She's strapped up.
She's strapped up?
She's strapped up, bro. I guarantee you she's strapped up, bro. And if not, now she's definitely strapped up. I guarantee she packing, bro. She packing, dog. I'm telling you.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm willing to bet bread that she got the tool on her at all times, just in case, bro. She don't seem like she played, bro.
You got a point with that. I'm not gonna cap. You got a point with that, for real. And further on in this article, it even states that previously, the gentleman that we just spoke about, 18-year-old Quartavius Mender, was arrested and charged after he made threats toward Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat and his wife on social media. So, what does this truly say about our culture? And I know we've touched on it in the actual episode, so I don't want to get too deep on it. Just in case, I don't know where we're including this in the episode, but what does this say about us as a culture?
I mean, we're not really thinking about our actions. We're not thinking about what happens after we do something. We think that, since we're behind a computer, sometimes that we're safe, but not realizing that everything that is on the internet is pretty much open source for everyone to have access to. Got to remember, everything has an IP address. That IP address leads right back to you. It has a timestamp on it and everything else. So realizing there's nothing that you can do on the internet that is hidden. And I mean, it just shows that we're not really, like you said, we're not really thinking. We're not really thinking about I kind of said this, thinking about the repercussions of our actions. I think that's what it boils down to. We're passionate, shows that we're passionate, but we're not thinking about the best way to go about these things.
Right.
So,
well, that's a great point. And of course, again, we'll leave the rest of our thoughts to the actual episode, so you guys can think about that. But the last update that I wanted to touch on before we concluded this segment was the fact that Gunna and Young Thug were both denied bond. Right. So their court dates, I mean, at least Gunna's court date has really been set for January 2023, as far as I know. And to my knowledge, as of this day, Young Thug's court date has yet to be set. It may have been, and I just didn't see it, but both gentlemen were denied bond. And yeah, they're not going to really get the chance to sit in front of a judge until early next year. And January is at least 6+ months from now.
You know what can happen in 6 months.
Right. Imagine being stuck in jail. Like, not even just jail, Fulton County Jail.
I don't want to imagine that. I don't.
I mean, I'm sure you don't.
That's
right?
tough.
I'm just saying, like, Fulton County Jail, like, I forget which TV show it was on. I don't know if it was on Lockup or if there was a specific documentary that was shot in Fulton County Jail. It's tough. Like, it's really tough up in there.
No parts, son.
Oh, hell no!
I feel for them, man. I hope they stay strong. Because you got a long way to go.
I don't even want to sit in there for 6 minutes.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You got to sit in there for 6 months. And I think they're doing that because they're denying them bond because they feel like they are a flight risk, or they can, like, basically, like, get out and, hey, go hurt this person, so they'll keep their mouth shut. And that's what they're afraid of, so they don't want to give them bond.
Dang.
That's tough, man. That's really tough.
Well, we'll see what happens, man, as all of this stuff unfolds. So,
Facts.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, those were the updates that we wanted to bring to y'all.
Yep. So
that way you could, just hear everything that we had to say about it, even though we know that the actual episode itself is a little quote unquote outdated, but we still wanted to give you the content because that is what we are here for. All right. Any final words?
Just be careful what you put on the internet. That's all. Be mindful because that's evidence, essentially.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Yeah. With that being said, back to the episode.
Peace. But with all that being said, man, y'all already know. It's that time.
Bruh.
I don't know why I'm crying.
I don't know why either.
You stupid.
It's that time. No,
You
let me
look
stop.
like-
Let me stop. Let me stop. Y'all already know, man. It's that time of the week, man, where we get into the question of the previous week and y'all answers that y'all gave us, that y'all blessed us with, that y'all took the time out to.
Mike, you're right, man. It is that time to give the answers from the last episode. So before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we have to give the question from the last episode. And what was that question, Mike?
What is something stopping you from getting to where you want to be?
So before we read the answers here, do we want to give our own answers first?
Oh, we can.
Okay. So, me personally, I would like to say, and I know I've said this in a previous episode before, but, you know, we are our greatest enemies. I know for a fact that I stop myself more so than anybody from, you know, being where it is that I want to be. Like I said in the beginning of the episode, this job is, you know, well, not this particular job here, not what we do with the podcast, but the new job that I recently got. It's very physically demanding. It's very time consuming, and it doesn't really give me the strength and energy that I need to put into this podcast. But of course, seeing things like the post or the message that we got from Foreign Coco, where she used one of our quotes that we constantly repeat as you know, something to put on her graduation cap, like that was something that was very inspiring, and it definitely made me want to just keep pushing no matter what. But, you know, sometimes I'll be in my own head and I don't want to do this. I don't want to edit. You know, sometimes I really wish that I could just pay somebody else to edit the episodes. But then I realize, like, yeah, that would give me the time that I need to rest and relax after a hard day of work or a hard week of work. But I understand that the episodes will not come out the way that I want them to come out. They will not look the way that Mike and I have, you know, thought about how they should release. But I don't know. There may be a day when we, you know, can pay somebody and it'll look better than what we expected. So that's just my idea right there, my 2 cents. Like, I feel like I stop myself a lot from being where I want to be in life.
I hate to kind of piggyback, but that's kind of how I feel as well. I feel like I overthink some things at times, or I will allow false situations that I may come up with in my head to deter me, or maybe prolong me from doing something, or maybe put a little fear in me that makes me think, oh, you know, I can't do it or anything like that. So ultimately, I think, like you said, B, it's really the man in the mirror, and just going against those thoughts that you have, and that nobody else can see, but you know that they're going on, and just standing up to them and saying, nah, I'm gonna do this. So I think I'm around the lines of what you were saying as well, B.
Okay. Well, I can definitely dig that. Let's see what the people had to say. Starting with Oh My Kim. She said, time blindness. All of my issues from ADHD, this is the one that literally is stopping me.
So from _Psych Oasis, she said, I am definitely a perfectionist, and sometimes that mixes with my anxiety. And I get stuck in stages at times because I feel like if the environment is not 100%, then I can't move forward. Then I get anxious about not moving forward, and that hinders me more because then I feel like I can't do it. Then she put in parentheses, accomplished goals. What's even more annoying is knowing that I struggle with this, yet continues to happen. I need to realize that sometimes you just have to go for what you want, regardless of if the circumstances are 100% around you or not.
These are some good answers so far. Thank you both.
Nah, facts.
The roll-up. He said, I'm stopping myself. Had a rough time recently being consistent. I just took a seminar class over the weekend, so I'm ready to get back to my ish.
That's good.
Gotta stay aligned with my goals and stop overthinking. So we replied and said, at least you can acknowledge that, bro, and you are actively doing something to change it. He said, always. I'm literally my biggest critic, man. But like Blake Sanford said, when MFs ask how I did it, the game will no longer be free. I'm gonna have to empty them pockets for sure.
Big facts. Big fact.
From TikTok, user KJB Temsey said life is what was stopping him. So we just want to say thank you to every single person who answered to us, even the first person to answer that question of the week on TikTok. So that's crazy to us. But thank you. We appreciate it.
Facts.
And we can definitely agree to everything that y'all said, because it's true.
Yeah.
But with that being said, you know that we cannot just give the answers from the previous episode and not give a new question. Mm-hmm. So, Mike, what is the new question of the week for this week?
So we're going to tie it into the episode. Would you ever snitch on someone else to save yourself?
Now, we just talking about, if you possibly did what you're being accused of, or if you were not guilty of what it was that you accused of, would you snitch on somebody else? Or like what we talking about? Does it matter?
I would say if you didn't do it.
So if you didn't do what you were being accused of, would you snitch on somebody else who may have done that thing that you've been accused of to save your own life?
Yeah. You gonna break the code?
Well, all I'm gonna say is I've never really considered myself to be a part of the street life. I'm a civilian out here, you know what I'm saying? I handle my own if I have to, but I've never considered myself to be a gangster. I never considered myself to be a thug. I'm not a part of that life. So heck yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I ain't do the crime, why I gotta do the time?
Cause snitches get stitches.
Well, click clack. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna be prepared to defend mine. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man. Not gonna lie to you though. I'm telling. I gotta get home, man. Dinner gonna be ready, so I ain't got time to be playing with y'all, man. Look, if I ain't do it, brother, I'm sorry. Nah, I gotta snitch. I don't care. I'm a lover, not a fighter, all right? I don't give a dang.
Hey, that's it right there. Like, that's a good question. I'm curious to see what answers we're gonna get.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get a mixture of both.
So,
So yeah, man, y'all let us know. You can write us on Instagram. You can, newly found TikTokers.
Right, yeah, please. Because, our TikTok is growing.
Yeah. Just
like our IG is growing, but we definitely get a majority of our answers on IG, but we just now started getting answers on TikTok. So we'll read them both. So, respond to both platforms.
What else? I think
YouTube.
Yep, YouTube. You can put it in the comment section. You can email us at residualimpactpodcast@gmail.com. Almost messed that up. B, man, let's get up out of here, man.
You're right.
What we got to lead the people with? You already know, man.
Where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past.
Just like that.
We greatly appreciate each and every single one of y'all for tuning in this week. And we will catch you next time for episode 35.
35.
And we're definitely not going to slack on the consistency this time because y'all have really motivated us. So y'all can thank Foreign Coco for that. She really helped give us that boost, that push that we needed to make sure that no matter how hard it is that we work, we still got people who look up to us, people who still listen to us, people who still tapped in, and we can't let them down.
Big facts.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.